Good evening, VJ.
Hello.
Good evening, VJ.
Good evening.
Hey, VJ.
Hello.
Evening.
Right, you're now live on YouTube.
Thank you. Got 1 minute, I think, to go. Right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the annual town meeting. I am Tina Reevy, the current mayor, and I'm going to chair tonight's meeting. Before I move on to my report, I need to give thanks and pay tribute to councillors who have stood down in the recent elections, and also to Anna Saunstone, who passed away on May the 1st. Sandra, are you going to put the...
You need to start with apologies.
Oh, right, yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. The first item on the agenda is apologies. So, Sandra, have we got any apologies?
Yeah, Peter Thomas.
Okay. Right, thank you. And also the minutes of the meeting held in 2020. Those of us who were at the meeting, have you had a chance to read them? And can I sign them as a correct record?
Yes.
Right, thank you. Right. Thank you. Right. Right. So before I move on with my report, I need to give thanks and pay tribute to councillors who have stood down at the recent elections, and also to Anna Saunstone, who passed away on the 1st of May. It was with great sadness that the town council and staff received the news of the death of Anna Saunstone. Anna was one of our longest serving councillors with over 35 years service. Anna was mayor of the town on 3 occasions, and she always carried out her duties with immense pride and respect for others. Having been an active part of the birth of the tourism group, she has supported it for many years. She also was involved in the local neighbourhood plan, where she fought for the town's heritage to be maintained for future generations, and had concerns on how many new developments were being built with the lack of infrastructure to accompany them. Anna was very passionate about keeping the town's ancient traditions, civic traditions, and she was a great supporter of the local beadsmen. When Heim Ferris twinned with Hackenberg in Germany, Anna was the person who signed the deed and has since visited on several occasions. Anna also served on the East Northamptonshire Council for 33 years, and she was chairman in 2003 to 2004. During that time, she served mainly on the Planning Management Committee and was involved with the licensing panel. She was always on hand to give advice to local residents with a monthly district council surgery. Anna was standing down at these elections due to ill health. She will be greatly missed on the council, as she had a great deal of knowledge and experience, which she was always happy to pass on to others. I'd like to ask you to join me in a minute's silence for Anna. Right, thank you. In 1964, a young Derek Lawson was elected to the then High Ferrers Borough Council. He saw the formation of the East Northamptonshire District Council, which led to High Ferrers becoming a town council. Derek was the longest serving member of the town council with over 57 years of service. His knowledge of local government is vast and his experience is second to none. Derek was a member of the East Northamptonshire District Council for over 20 years, where he was chairman in 1987 to 1988. He was also a member of the Northamptonshire County Council for 40 years and chairman in 2007-2008. Derek was vice chairman of the Police and Crime Panel, which was part of the Northants Police Authority before the position of Police and Crime Commissioner was created. Derek has been a very well-respected mayor of High Ferrers on 3 occasions and the leader of the council for 5 years. For all of his years of commitment to local government, I am delighted to say that Derek's work was recognised when he was awarded a well-deserved MBE in 2007. His knowledge and experience will be missed by us all. Richard Gall. Richard, who has finished his local government career this May with East Northants Council. He first stood for the District Council in 1999, and with one break between 2003 and 2007, he served for 18 years in total. He was on the Town Council until 2 years ago, having served on the Borough Council between 1970 and 1971, and he then continued to the Town Council in 1976. He served 37 years as a Town Councillor. Sheila Mantle. She has been was a town councillor since 2007 and the mayor in 2012 to 2013. Sheila is local through and through, having been born here and living in the town all of her life. Many will know Sheila from her working in the Wharf Road Post Office for 17 years. Jason Smithers. When he joined the council, by his own admission, he knew very little about local council, how the local council worked, but he was keen to learn and have the opportunity to put something back into the community. Luckily, Jason was a very quick learner, as he had gone from strength to strength. Through being a very busy mayor in 2018-2019, he became interested in another level of local government and stepped forward when the High Ferrers seat became available in the County Council. David Hamlin joined the council in 2015 as the first UKIP member. He has always contributed his ideas and his knowledge and has been a very important member of the council. David will always say what he thinks and express his concerns on certain issues, but you will always know where you stand with him. On the staffing front, we have said goodbye to Julie Thornycroft, the town manager we shared with Rushden Town Council. We wish her good luck in her new role with Northampton Town Council. I could not miss touching on the pandemic, as it has been such a big part of our lives over the past year. I wish to thank all the volunteers who have worked in the community to support others with shopping, fetching prescriptions and being a friendly voice. The Town Council have continued to operate through the pandemic with the staff working at home. We quickly managed to get used to a new way of working, and we have continued to meet as a council on Zoom each month. Apart from March 2020, the farmers market has continued to operate with social distancing measures in place to keep it a safe place to stop. Once we are through this pandemic, we are planning with the church to hold a memorial service in memory of those who lost their lives to the virus. The Town Council launched a campaign in June to say a big thank you to those essential businesses and workers that have kept Higham Ferris going throughout the lockdown period, and to welcome back the newly reopening shops to the High Street and surrounding areas. As Mayor, I visited some businesses personally to cast my thanks on behalf of the Town Council and the people of Higham Ferris for their hard work and dedication over a difficult and challenging time. The campaign was launched on our Facebook page, where we highlighted one business per day. It was wonderful to see so many people like and comment on these posts, adding their own personal messages of thanks, and we were sure that this support is greatly received from these businesses. 55 planning applications have been considered throughout this year. Outline permission approved for up to 300 houses next to the Ferris School. Rushton East's decision is awaited on the outline planning application, and former textile bonding site plans agreed for 120 houses. In 2020, we were pleased to be able to grant £2,000 to the East Northants first responders. The first responders are a fantastic and hard-working group of volunteers who live in the community and are trained by East Midlands Ambulance Service to be dispatched to 999 calls to provide emergency care. The £2,000 grant was used to purchase new and much-needed equipment for the group. The representatives from the group came to the town in July to meet myself and to show me the equipment that they were able to purchase with the grant. Paul Parsons, the High Sheriff of Northamptonshire, visited Higham Ferris in October 2020 to tour the Chicheley College, St Mary's Church and Bede House. Obviously, all of this was done socially distanced and mostly outdoors. In August 2020, Highways England presented us with 3 carved wooden benches made from the 3 oaks tree that had to be felled for the Chancellor Roundabout project. I officially received the benches and unveiled them in their new permanent homes at Castlefields, where they can be admired and enjoyed by the whole community. The work with Highways England continues, as 3 individual seats are currently being carved for Nightingale Way play area. A mayoral competition was held with the local schools, asking the children to design the backs for the 3 benches. In conjunction with the competition, a carved item was gifted to each of the 3 schools participating in the competition. As Mayor of Higham Ferris, I formally opened the timber trail at Castlefields on a beautiful, cold, frosty morning. Helen Howells, Chairman of East Northamptonshire Council, attended the socially distanced ceremony to hand over the plaque, as the project had been funded by a community facilities grant of £7,500 from East Northamptonshire Council. For several years, the council and residents of Higham had an aspiration to improve the facilities on Castlefields, but as it is a scheduled ancient monument, this has to be improved. As it is a scheduled ancient monument, this has not been straightforward, and after some negotiation, Historic England agreed to a low-level timber trail. On behalf of the Town Council, I thanked East Northamptonshire Council for their funding, and I know that the facility is already being enjoyed by many children from Higham Ferris, and particularly during these difficult times, it is important that there are opportunities to exercise and play outside. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we had to cancel our traditional Christmas sparkle. To keep the town twinkling, we harnessed the crafters in the town and we bombed the bollards in the town. We were overwhelmed by the fantastic response from the community. A Christmas tree was also added to the market square and the war memorial was lit up. A hamper competition was held with items from every shop in the town. The hamper was presented at the December Farmers Market, along with the prize for my Christmas card competition. In December, some of the councillors spent time organising collecting and packing 60 hampers for residents in Higham Ferris, including the lonely, the vulnerable and the elderly. These were funded by a grant from Western Power and my Mayor's allowance. Plans are already underway for this year's Sparkle, and the date is set for the 20th of November 2021. As the Charter Partnership project moved from its second year into its final year, the restored charters were ready to go to their new home at Northampton Records Office. The charters were carefully transported in their special handmade boxes and are now stored in the appropriate climate-controlled conditions to ensure their protection for future generations. Alongside the framed copies hanging in the local schools, the framed copy of the bylaws was hung in the town hall. The framed copy of the earliest charter of 1251 hangs in Chicheley College, and the 1556 Philip and Mary Charter is in the Bede House. In the light of COVID restrictions, the plan for town tour training and tours could not happen, and we were placed on hold. An innovative alternative is being created and will soon be available to the town and its visitors. An audio tour has been recorded and will soon be available from an app downloadable from Google Play or the App Store. The audio tour is approximately an hour in length and provides a fascinating glimpse into the history, the main sites and the treasures of our medieval town. Higham Town app was launched in April 2021. We hope you will download and use it to support local business. The extension to the Greenway Phase 2A is almost finished. A new interpretation panel has been installed in the churchyard, which provides information about Bede House, Chancery Chapel and St Mary's Church. An interpretation panel was installed and tree planting carried out at Nightingale Way play area. The tennis courts have been repainted and the mugger resurfaced. Thank you. Item 4 is reports from the Principal Authorities Councillors, and we have a report from Harriet. Would you like to read the report, Harriet?
I haven't got it up. I can in just a second.
Okay. Sandra, would you like to read it? Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. Are you going? Sorry. Have you got it? Can you get it up, Harriet?
Yes, I can.
Yes. Okay. Sorry.
That's all right.
It's just in case anybody
Is listening.
is listening that hasn't got the copy.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I've got it here. So, dear councillors and members of the public, it is my pleasure to give my report for this annual town meeting. It has been a strange year since the last annual meeting due to the pandemic, and I'm so pleased that we're moving toward normality once more. Over the past year at East Northamptonshire Council, we really got to grips with online meetings, which worked well and allowed us to continue with committees and council meetings. I've attended many planning meetings virtually, and there have been a number of notable planning applications in what was the Higham Ferris Lancaster ward, including the new school next to Moulton College and the housing development off the Kimbolton Road. There were more planning meetings than perhaps other years, but as councillors and with the support of officers, we worked hard to get through the applications, debating them in detail and listening to the public speakers able to participate through the online system. In addition to this, and as well as a number of other council meetings across the year, we had the last full council meeting of East Northamptonshire Council recently, which provided the opportunity to reminisce on the life of the council and the important contributions many people have made to the council over the years. I have also regularly attended briefings on the COVID-19 situation locally. These briefings have been a very useful tool to understand case rates in Northamptonshire and the response to these, as well as to ask questions of officers. These briefings are continuing as we progress through the government's roadmap, and I will continue to participate in them. As well as attending the town and parish council meetings locally, I've continued to correspond with local residents on a range of matters from planning to policing, and always enjoy being able to offer my assistance. As I'm issuing this report after the elections on the 6th of May, I'm hugely honoured to have been elected to the new North Northamptonshire Council for the Higham Ferrers division, alongside councillors Bert Jackson and Jenny Bone. I'm incredibly grateful to those who voted for me, and I look forward to working as hard as I can for all residents of the division and the local community. Whilst this is just a snapshot of the work I've been doing over the past year, so as to not take up too much of your time, I hope this is of interest to you. If I can ever be of any assistance, please do not hesitate to get in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Harriet. Item 5 on the agenda is public open forum. We have no members of the public present. So it just needs
Well, anybody here, any of the councillors, if they wanted to ask anything, particularly the newer councillors, I don't know if they've got any questions.
I see shaking of heads.
Oh, right.
Okay, so Sandra's going to close the live stream now,